Hey everybody, we're jumping into chapter 6 today, using the percent proportion. Hopefully you have a pretty good understanding of percents in general. Percents are just a ratio, all right? And it takes percent, what it does is it takes a part to whole ratio, okay? And then we just change that part to whole ratio so that it has a denominator of 100, and that's just what a percent is, okay? So if I were to make, I don't know, 17 out of 20 free throws. Well, that's a fraction. 17 out of 20. Well, to turn it into a percent, we would just simply make the denominator 100. So times that by 5 and times that by 5. All right, and then this would give me my percentage, which would be 85. Okay, so all a percent is it takes a regular ratio and makes the denominator of that ratio 100, and that's our percent. So we would write that in percent form like this. So this is the fraction form of the percent. This is the percent form. Okay, I could also write it in a decimal form, which would be just 0.85, but right, that is tenths, hundredths, so that's really 85 hundredths. Okay, I make 85 hundredths of my shots, or 17 out of 20. Okay, so that's a quick intro to what a percentage is. It's simply a ratio where the denominator is 100. Okay, well, let's move on. Hey, I was just thinking about the one, the only Joel Embiid, and you can see here his free throw percentage is, not as good as mine. Just joking, I'm not as good as Joel Embiid, if you're wondering. So he's shooting at 0.833, which means, let's see, that's in decimal form. So if we take that decimal, put it in the hundredths, he's shooting at 83%. That's pretty good for a man of his size, a center. 83%, that's amazing. Okay, that means out of 100 shots, he would probably make around 83 of them. All right, let's get into the lesson. Let's go. Here we go. Okay, so now you can see this percent proportion. I told you it's a part to whole relationship, but written with a denominator of 100. So whatever our part to whole relationship is, we convert that to an equivalent fraction that has a ratio or a denominator of 100. Okay, now you'll notice that there's one part of the percent proportion that's always known. That bottom right part of the proportion is always 100. Above that, we have an unknown. We don't know the percent, we don't know the part, we don't know the whole currently. So there's three possible unknowns here for these problems that we're going to do. So we're going to go through three different examples when each of those pieces are missing. The first one we'll talk about in example 1 is, what if we're trying to find the percent? Okay, so let's look at that. Notice how we have this question here. It says 12 is what percent of 32? All right, well, we look in this as they work it out for us, and we know the part is 12, the whole is 32, and we're looking for that percent, so that's why there's a variable there. Okay, a little clue is that word is an indicator. It usually follows the part, and the word of is usually an indicator. It usually comes before the whole. So because the of is before the 32, we kind of know that that's going to be go in that position of the percent proportion, the bottom left. The part's always the top left, the percent's always the top right. Okay, so then we know the rest. We cross multiply, divide, and get our answer of 37.5. And since that's a percent, we're going to write it with the percent symbol. Okay, I'm going to do these examples here really quickly. I see 15 is what percent of 20? So I know that I'm going to set up my proportion with 100 in the denominator. And what's my part and what's my whole? I know that, I always like to fill in my unknown first. And it's pretty obvious. It says what percent. So I'm looking for the percent here. Now 15 is followed by the word is. So I know that's my part. I also just can tell, just seems like it. 15 is what percent, what part, what, a percent is usually a portion of something. So 15 is that, and 20 is the whole. Okay, and I won't go over the actual solving of that because I just want to zip through this. Okay, 100 is what percent of 25? So looks like I'm going to find that percent again because it says what percent. And then I'm going to, whoa, it's weird. Wait, 100 is. I did say the part is always before the is, so that's going to be up here. But then why is that down there? That's weird. Okay, so what percent would that be? That'd be times 4 times 4, so that'd be 400%. All right. Okay, so that's kind of a weird one, but we'll get used to that. What percent of 5 is 12? Now that's a little bit weird too because it's a little bit out of order. We set up our proportion, we put 100 down there. It says what percent, so we put the x up there. And then what percent of 5, so that goes down here, is 12, so that goes up there. All right, that's another weird one. Looks like that's times 20, so that's times 20, and that's going to get us how much percent? Oops, sorry, 24. Sorry, 240%. Okay. Now, last one, this is a little bit more straightforward. It does say what percent, so we know that the x is going to go over the 100, and then it says what percent of 18 is 9. And you can just see that that's a fraction, that's a half. So this would be 50%. Okay, moving on to the next type. So the next type is going to be an example where a different piece of the proportion is missing. So it says what number is. See, the word is there, and it says what number. So what number is, this is the part that's missing. So see how the top left is your variable here? Okay, the percent given goes over the 100, and of 450, that goes on the bottom left where the whole goes. Okay, cross multiply and solve. Okay, let's try these. Got it. All right, we have 2a. What number is? It says what number is, so we know that that's going to go here. We know the 100 always goes there. What number is 11.4%? So 11.4 goes there. We don't put our percent symbol here because it's not written in percent form. It's actually written in fraction form. And the 100 does the job of that percent symbol. Okay, of 330, so the word that follows the of goes at the bottom. All right, let's set up that next one. We got find 10%. So that goes over 100. That's 10% written in fraction form. And then of 30. So that goes down here, and we're going to put our x up there. Okay, next one. It says find. Now there's no is here, so that's a little bit weird, but it's in this section, so I'm pretty sure that that is going to go up there. And the word of goes with the 425, so that's, I know that's going to go there, and the 15% is going to go up there. Okay, here we have a more traditional one that says what number is, so that makes the x go for the part. 63. Oh, excuse me, 0.4% of 12 there. Okay, so now that you've tried all those, you see that pattern for that type. Now we're going to go to our last type where we're missing the, what do you think? Hopefully you said the whole. All right. See, it even gives that little clue there. The whole usually follows the word of. Well, let's read through this example. It says 78 is 60% of what number? All right, so you can see that in this case, of, it says of what number, so that whole is the missing piece. Okay, and it said 78 is, so that goes there. The percent is typically really easy to place because it has the percent symbol next to it. So cross multiply, divide, and you're good to go. All right, let's go. I'm only going to do 2 of these because I'm getting tired of them. No, just joking. I would never get tired of math. Anyway, 3a says 30% of what number is 63? Well, We're going to put our 100 in always. The percent's easy to figure out because it says 30%. Okay, it says of what number, so I know my variable goes down there, and then I say is 63, so that goes up there. All right, let's see if any of these are really tricky. Let me try B. It has a big number. Okay, so 3,000 is, well, I'm going to put my 100 in first. 3,000 is, so that goes up there. 60%, that goes there. Of what number? That goes down there, so not too tricky. All right, hopefully this is clicking for you guys and it's not too tricky. This just summarizes the 3 different possibilities there are. All right, where the percent's missing, the part's missing, the whole's missing. All right, with practice, they will become easier and easier. Here, it's just giving you some stats to read out of a table, and the key here is that they don't give you the whole. Okay, this is Derek Jeter's stats with the Yankees. Okay, oh, they do give you the whole. Okay, well, that makes it easier, but sometimes the whole is, they only give you all the parts and you have to add them up to get that bottom part there. But anyway, this is not like that. They give you the whole. What percentage of his at bats were singles? So you have to put the part, take the part from there, put it there, and then cross multiply and find that percentage. Okay, so that's how we roll. Good luck with the practice, and I'll see you on Zoom in a little bit.